Hello everyone, I am Apeksha and I welcome you back to this series on understanding the stock market basics. So today we are going to discuss about a very important corporate action, that is buyback of shares. And in today's video we will talk about all the pointers that are listed below. First of all, we will start with the meaning of buyback, the important aspects related to buyback, sources through which buyback is done, its methods, and at the end we will go through one particular example and SEBI's website to understand the practical aspect of it. Now before proceeding ahead with the topic, let me first tell you about our channel The Money Ruler. So on this channel we have been uploading a lot of videos which are especially related to financial markets and economics. So go ahead and subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss out on any important economic update. Now let us begin with the meaning of buyback. I'll tell you the meaning of buyback in a very simple manner. Okay. So in simple terms, buyback means the company purchasing its own shares from the shareholders. Now imagine the scenario during IPO, which is initial public offering. At that point of time, what happens is the company is actually offering the shares to the public at large, to people at large, because their motive is to raise the capital, right, for their business. So that is why they are giving away their shares to the people. So people who actually subscribe to this IPO, they become the shareholders in that company. That's how it works. Now during buyback, they are doing the exact opposite of what they did during the IPO. Here they are buying back the shares from those shareholders for a particular price, which is called as the buyback price. So basically the company is investing in itself, and what is happening in turn? It is reducing the holding of other investors. And there is one rule according to the Companies Act 2013 that the shares which will be bought back in this entire scenario, in this process of buyback, they have to be extinguished by the company. So eventually the promoters holding in the company is going to increase, okay, which is a good thing for the promoters if they are actually looking forward to increase their holding in the company. Now I hope you have understood the basic concept related to buyback, but there are few more important aspects that you need to understand, which we will cover one by one. So we will begin with this particular pointer, improvement in EPS. Okay, EPS is earning per share. So I'll tell you how it is calculated. The total profit of the company, which is profit after tax, is actually divided by the total number of shares, which gives you the earning per share. Each share, how much is the company earning. Now there are two columns here in this example, pre-buyback and post-buyback. Look at how it will improve. What is happening is, here in this example, the company has bought back 10 shares out of the 100 shares that they are having. So pre-buyback there are 100 shares, post-buyback 90 shares, but profit after tax it is going to remain the same because the company has not done anything to improve their entire profitability. So the profit is going to remain the same, but EPS is going to increase because the number of shares have reduced. I told you, right? During buyback, the shares which are bought back, they are extinguished by the company as per the rule. So that is why there will be lesser number of shares. That's why the EPS will improve. Now also during buyback, what happens is when the company announces buyback, people who actually want to give away their shares in this process, they will apply. Not everyone is going to apply. So there will be a category of people who are still invested in the company. So it will be a fruitful or a attractive thing for the people who are invested, because their EPS will increase for each share that they are holding. Okay, so this is a very positive thing that happens after the buyback. This is the second point, which is additional exit route to the shareholders. So this is an attractive opportunity for the people who are any which ways looking forward to sell the shares or sell the holding in this company. So in general, when we are buying and selling, what happens is we get the market price. If we are selling, we have to we get the market price. Even if we are buying, we use that market price. But in this scenario, there is a buyback price which is announced by the company. So look at this table. I have taken the market price of that particular share when it was announced, when the buyback was announced, and then compare it with the buyback price. They are giving you a premium. So this is a good point actually for people who are looking forward to sell it. Here are a few more pointers, additional pointers. So one thing is that when the company is having large or huge cash surplus in the balance sheet, they might do it if they are not having any significant plans to use that money. Second point is to prevent hostile takeover. So I'll tell you what hostile takeover means. So there are actually two types of takeovers. Okay, there's a friendly takeover and there's a hostile takeover. During friendly takeover, the deal is wherein both the parties agree basically to this. So that's a good point. Hostile takeover is something wherein one particular company takes over another company without the consent of the promoter or the management, okay, which is against their will or their wish. This hostile takeover situation arises when the promoter is having lesser holding in the company. So buyback is actually one of the chance for them to increase their holding so that such kind of situation doesn't occur, because it is against their will to have this hostile takeover, right? So the third point actually relates to the current scenario, okay, to boost the confidence of investors in difficult times. So right now we are in difficult times, isn't it? After the corona outbreak, a lot of companies were not performing better. In fact, we could see that in Nifty and Sensex, which are the benchmark indices of India. So there were a lot of companies, I'll name a few of them. Sun Pharma, Imami, SP Apparels, they had actually declared buyback of the shares after this entire, the global markets were basically collapsing after that scenario that had happened. So what happens is this gives the confidence to the shareholders. That's one thing, but it is also beneficial to the company because they are able to buy the shares at a lower price. So I don't think they'll get the shares at this low price anytime soon. So this is one opportunity for them to sort of increase their holding as well at a lesser price. Now, one more pointer I wanted to tell you is that you think about one scenario. I'm talking about promoters are increasing their holding. Why do you think would they do that? Think of this question: who knows the companies better, properly or perfectly? Is it the analyst, shareholders, debenture holders, investment bankers, employees, etc., etc.? It's not them, okay? It's obviously not them. It is the promoters who know the company really well, because they are the ones who are taking the major decisions. They are the one who started that company. So they are having each and every idea related to the company, which we as analysts we might not have, okay, for some reason. But they are the ones who are the best sort of judge for their own company. And having more shareholding in the company, actually helps them to take the decisions in AGM or EGM, so annual general meeting or extraordinary general meeting when it happens of the company. They have to actually take the concern of other shareholders as well. So if their shareholding is lesser, then they might not be able to pass a particular decision that they wanted to just because their holding is less. So they always try to increase their holding because they always need to have that kind of control. Who doesn't like to have the control? So that is why buyback is at times done by them. Now look at the fifth point, that at times the company is delisted after buyback. So what companies do is, if they want to delist the company, they'll come up with the buyback, okay, wherein they will announce that this is going to happen after buyback. So everybody has to give their shares back to the company. But you have to be very vigilant, okay, if this kind of thing happens. What if you're not aware of this and you've just bought some kind of shares and you have kept and you have never really checked your account? So then that might be problematic, because if the buyback happens, then after that the company is delisted, and if you have the shares of that company, then you will actually have to look for any other buyer, because there won't be any kind of liquidity in the market because the company is no more listed. So this is a point of concern which you should always look at if your company is going to get delisted after the buyback. The next point is sources of buyback. Okay, so far we spoke about a lot of things related to buyback, how it happens, what are the important things. Now, how do the company do that? From where are they generating this amount or this money to give it back? So these are the accounts through which the money is actually raised. One is free reserves. Okay, so reserves is basically the portion of profits which is kept aside by the company in the form of reserves. It might be for any kind of future plan or any kind of uncertainty. Even we do it, right? When we get our salaries, are we using 100% of that amount? Obviously not. We keep some amount in the form of reserves or some kind of future goal we might have. We keep it for that. So similarly, company does that and it is called as free reserves. Now look at the second account, which is the securities premium account. So securities premium account, I'll tell you. So whenever the company is raising capital through any form, so they might be charging the money from the people, right, for the shares that they are giving out to the people. So if the face value of the company is rupees 10, and if that company is raising the money from the people for 50 rupees per share, then that 40 rupees is actually the premium, okay? So 10 rupee is the face value and the 40 rupees premium. So that 40 rupees will come here in securities premium account. So that is also used during the buyback. And the third is the proceeds of issue of any shares or other specified securities. But there is one more clause that is there here, that buyback of any kind of shares, okay, or any other specified security, they cannot make it out of the proceeds of earlier issue of same kind of shares or same kind of other specified security, because it won't really make sense that they are issuing the share, they are raising the funds, Okay, and again now they are planning to come up with the buyback using the same amount that they had raised earlier. So that's a actually rule of the Companies Act. So one more thing is they can also take debt or cash in hand, the amount that is there, or under the cash flow from operation, they can use all this funds as well to do the buyback for that company. So these are the two methods through which buyback is actually done. So first thing is tender offer. Here what happens is the shareholders have an option to submit a portion of their shares for a particular amount which is declared by the company and within a certain time frame. Under the second option, under open market option that is there, this happens over a extended period of time directly from the market. Now let us go ahead and have a look at one particular example for which we are going to visit the SEBI's website. I have loaded the SEBI's website here. SEBI is the regulatory authority of financial markets in India. So you have to go under this section called as filing and then scroll a little below, you will see buyback. Like I had already told you, there are two methods through which buyback is done, tender offer and open market. So you can click on either of them to check out the details. Look at this, they have given you all the options over here to sort of search about the things that are happening. Open market, tender offer, date you can put, you can also put the name of the company that you are looking for, and here like I told you, they will give you the, when you click on any particular option or any particular company that is there, they will give you a direct PDF. So I will take you to one PDF. I've already downloaded the PDF of one particular company. I'll show you that. So here is the PDF that I have actually I had downloaded. So this is for Motilal Oswal Financial Services. So if you are holding the shares of a particular company, you have to go through the entire details directly from the official page. That's always the best thing to do. I had to show you one or two things mainly, okay, like we had the discussion. So here they have given you details related to everything. How is it going to happen? What are the dates? How many shares are they proposing to buy back? What will be the timeline, etc. So have a look at this particular table here, okay. They have given you the pre-buyback and post-buyback details. So pre-buyback, the company was having 69.76 holding, the promoter, basically promoter group. After buyback, what has happened is the holding is 70.87. Okay, look at this. I have zoomed in a little bit. And then you will also see that they might have also given you the details related to the ratios. Like I told you that pre-buyback, the EPS is one particular EPS is there. After post-buyback, it is going to improve because the number of shares are going to reduce. So all the ratios which have a link related to number of shares, they will also improve. So they will give you details on that front as well. So there is one more important question that comes to the mind. Okay, I understood what is buyback, but what should I do if my company is coming up with buyback? So first of all, you have to have a look at this entire document, understand what are they doing, what is the buyback price, etc. And if you are any which way is going to sell the share or you are planning to reduce your investment in the market, then you can go for it because you are getting the price which is over and above the market price. That's one thing. But apart from that, if you are okay with that company, if the company is doing fundamentally better, then you can stay invested, because sometimes company, like I already told you, promoters are also wanting to increase their holding in the company. Why? Because they know that the company is going to perform better. Okay, so this is also the case at times. So you will have to look at how is your company doing fundamentally. If everything is perfect with that company, then stay invested. Or else, like I told you, at times there is also the scene wherein the company is actually coming up with buyback because the markets are not doing better or there is negativity around you. So if you don't want to take any kind of a risk, if you are sort of risk averse, then you can actually sell that share during the buyback. Okay, so you have to look at your goals and how is the market performing, then take the decision. So that's all from my end. Now if you have any questions, please note it down in the comment section. Do let me know how did you find this video, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much.